I'm Shirley Hardy, and I'd like to tell you tonight about some of Usborne's fiction. Usborne does lots of different kinds of fiction. You can start with a picture book, something like The Phonic Reader, or something the same size but that is more of a classic tale like The Gingerbread Man or Little Red Riding Hood or Anne of Green Gables. Lots of classic fairy tales available in a paperback book just like this for $8.95 or a nice padded hardcover for $11.95, whichever you prefer. Classic stories to enjoy with your children. Farmyard tales are what Usborne is maybe best known for. This is a collected volume. There are lots of collected volumes of fiction, which make it less expensive for you to get more books in one. This is 20 books in one volume, so it's only $27.95 instead of paying for each one individually. There are also beautiful gift editions, such as The Story of the Nativity. Gorgeous gold embossing on the cover, and just beautiful illustrations of the Savior's story of his birth. That night in the stable, Mary gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Jesus. There are also young reading stories for your children as they begin to develop as readers. It begins with Series 1. This is an example of a book from Series 1. It's a beginning chapter book, but it has lots of colorful pictures and not very much text on each page. This particular story talks about Christmas traditions around the world, and there's a ribbon marker, and your child can just really enjoy a whole different set. In that series, there are all kinds of classics and also new stories that have been told just right to catch a child's interest and engage them and help them become good readers. From there, it progresses through Level 2, and this is Series 3. This is Great Expectations. I love the classics. These are great for me. Sometimes it's hard, even as an adult, to read some of the writing of these great writers. But when you have it in a storybook form with beautiful illustrations, you can get familiar with the plot, familiar with the characters. You come to love and enjoy it, and then later on you're ready to tackle the original. And Usborne has those too. This is Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, the original story, only it's got beautiful illustrations to go along with it to help engage the child's interest. My family loves to read this book every year, and I'm excited this year to be able to share it with pictures. The illustrated stories collections are my favorite. They combine lots of these great readers into one collection, so it's only $22.95. The cover is thick and padded, nice and sturdy. And then inside, this is Shakespeare. We've got 6 different Shakespeare plays told just at a child's level. So this is Romeo and Juliet. I read Twelfth Night with my children last week, ages 8, 6, and 3, and every one of them was engaged in the story the whole time. Thought it was so funny. They wouldn't get that out of reading the original Shakespeare, but hopefully they'll go to Shakespeare later on a little bit better prepared. Finally, the last I want to show you is this gorgeous gift keepsake illustrated children's Bible, and it's the same idea. Stories from the Bible retold. Here's Daniel in the Lion's Den. Old Testament and New Testament stories represented in ways that the children can come to relate to them and enjoy them until they're ready for the original. So I hope that gives you some nice exposure to some of Usborne's fiction.